TCR Sprint Car Series season. This is the New Year's Bash at the beach. We are just underway for qualifying right now. My name is Davis Warren. Welcome to Grease Vision. I am joined by Nathan Mon. Nathan, how are we feeling tonight?
Davis, feeling great tonight, man. It is a beautiful night at Volusia Speedway down in Barberville. About 66 degrees, not too much wind. I'm excited for another good race tonight, man.
I don't think I knew this was in Barberville. I never knew the exact location. I just kind of assumed Volusia County. So that's good to know. Well, we are qualifying right now as we are just getting ready to wrap that up. Looking here to see who might be on the poll. Trying to get us a graphic here. Sorry about not having
Looks
that.
like currently it's Mason Heimball on provisional pole right now, but Matt Grimm just took the top spot away.
The hotshot Matt Grimm, big veteran of this series, looking to redeem himself from, I believe, that second place finish from last week. I believe, is that correct?
Believe so, yeah. Got some a crazy finish there. Last week, Jack Anderson took home the win with a last lap move on Matt. I'm not seeing Jack, our last week's winner here tonight.
He might
So
not be
maybe
here.
what's that?
Just saying, he might not be here tonight. I don't believe.
Oh, okay.
So we
Well,
will
it's a
have a new
perfect
winner.
opportunity for Matt Grimm to take home a win tonight. Now he's have to battle Mr. Anderson.
Indeed, indeed. Well, we are going to wrap up qualifying here. Again, still working on getting a graphic up on the stream. Big apologies for that. But we thank everybody for tuning in tonight. See, we've already got 7 people here. So if you're here, let us know in the comments. Just say hey. Let us know who you're rooting for, and yeah, let us know you're here. How much time are we looking like? How much time are we looking like on qualifying?
Looks like we got about 2.5 minutes. Does look like almost all the drivers have put down at least a lap. Looks like maybe waiting on 1 or 2 to finish up. So we should be ready to get started here with Heat 1 here shortly. Looks like only a couple left.
All right. Well, and what's a rough estimate on how many cars we got tonight?
Let's see, it looks like we're gonna have 16 cars tonight. Possibly 15. Doesn't look like one of them's qualifying as of yet. Maybe they're just gonna save their stuff for the heat. But it looks like it's gonna be 16 cars running tonight. Not sure how many heats that's gonna break up into. Possibly, it looks like I think we had 3 last week, 3 heats of 5. So it looks like something similar to last week.
Could be 2, could be 3. We will see. Well, we know a little bit about Volusia Raceway Park here. It's kind of different. We were hearing from one of the drivers earlier that he was really struggling. I'll say it was Chandler Carroll, kind of having a tough time, wrapping his mind around this place. What makes Volusia so different from other racetracks?
Well, to me, I think it just feels longer. I don't know. It's a half-mile track. Not as wide as last week as Eldora. It seems like, at least what I was seeing in practice. There is some experimenting with lines as we'll see all season, but a lot of people seem to kind of go for that middle groove. Saw a couple people trying to rip the top, but doesn't look like there's quite as much grip up there, at least in practice. Track conditions may change and that top side might roll in, but it just seems to me like the straightaways just go on forever here, especially compared to last week at Eldora. So I think that's gonna be something that drivers got to keep an eye out for, is keeping that exit speed up. It's a little bit longer straightaway, so you want to have a good pull down the straights and a lot of speed momentum heading into the corners.
Well, and sort of like Eldora last week, this backstretch is a little bit curved. And correct me if I'm wrong, but it might be a little bit more dramatic, but at the same time also longer than Eldora. Not 100% sure, but I know that especially that turn 2 exit, especially the one you're looking at on screen right now, could be pretty treacherous, along with it being a flat racetrack. So this will be interesting to see what happens here. When it looks like we are getting ready to grid for heat number 1. How many heats are we looking at? Do we have a total count on that?
It looks like we're going to have just 2 heats with 8 in each heat, and it looks like 5 from each heat will be moving to the feature. Not sure how we have set up the consolation and everything, but at least top 5 here to the feature from each of the heats with 8 cars.
Fantastic. Well, I am just now getting that graphic up on the screen, so apologies to everybody, but I want to make sure this all goes through as it should. All right. Yeah, here we go. Give us a rundown of the lineup here.
Absolutely. On pole position, we got Matt Grimm. Starting second, we got Landon Meninga. Starting third, we've got, looks like John Hain. Fourth, Joshua Johnson. Fifth, Matthew Nasworthy. Sixth, Hunter Jarrell. Seventh, Caden Roy. And eighth, Chandler Carroll.
Cheese Man rounding out the field here. So we are getting ready for some racing. Cars are already hopping up and down. Let's see some wheelies. That'd be kind of sick, you know? We're 1 to green this time by. Give me a pick for this heat.
This heat, man, I gotta go. I know Matt Grimm's got to be hungry from last week. I mean, you lead a lot of laps. I know he was frustrated, didn't want to come see us in the booth. It's okay, we'll forgive him. I know there was a lot of frustration there after, really just losing the race on that last lap. So I'm gonna go with Matt Grimm. I think he's gonna be able to drive away from these guys.
Am I allowed to pick the same car?
Absolutely, man.
All right, all right. Well, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go with the 71 car. I think he's got a shot here. So let's see what happens. As we are rolling through 3 and 4. Pace truck is off. And we are green for heat number 1 at Volusia. Matt Grimm, early lead.
Yeah, you see he just launched right off the line. Got a nice out there. Looked like he got a little loose there, on the start. You talking about those curved straightaways. That could definitely mess with your head a little bit.
The caution is
out.
out.
Corner. Caution is out.
We will see what that is for. Give me just a quick second.
It's like Hunter Jarrell involved. He's doing a little bit of wheel hopping down the straights.
All right. Doing this all by ear here. So give me just a second. That was on the first lap too, so some early action here for this heat.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it looks like, I'm not sure exactly what happened here with Hunter, but looks like just kind of trying to wheel up the track. Maybe, looks like I just caught the inside wall just a little bit, and that spun him around. So it doesn't look like it's going to be too much damage for him. He should be able to, get back rolling and everything. Maybe the hopping was a little bit of a visual glitch on our side, but yeah, I mean, hey, I'm here for it. It's a heat. Get aggressive. Not too much to lose. You get a fresh car for the feature, so you might as well send it, in my opinion.
That's exactly right. That is exactly right. Yeah, it definitely looked like almost kind of looked reactionary to also the other 71 car in a bit of a way. But again, he did also tag that wall like you had mentioned. So he'll be good to go. But we are 1 to green here. Pace truck still leading the way. Matt Grimm. Bringing them down the back straightaway as we have got, I believe, how many laps to go?
Not sure if it counted that one. I don't think they completed that one, so we should still be on lap 1.
So we've got a full race here pretty much as we are back to green. Big jump by that 91 car.
Yeah, Matt Grimm with just another killer restart. He was great last week with it. Like I said, I can understand his frustration. I think we've all been there. With the losing the lead on the last lap, but hey, man, he's showing why he deserved that win last week.
And he is digging right now, especially on that high side. Huge jump on the field. So we will take a look at the rest of the pack. Apologies for not knowing the whole field. That is Definitely on us, but we're gonna get some names here. Again, we're still kind of learning this as we go here.
Looks like we may have had an incident that didn't bring out a yellow. It was a couple cars already seeing themselves lap down in Caden Roy and Nasworthy. Now 2 laps down. So not sure if there was some action towards the back of the pack or in the midfield where they were at. But it looks like the caution didn't come out for him. Yeah, that's a good way to end your heat right there.
No,
But
yeah, that's exactly right.
okay.
Caden Roy out of that one as well as Matthew Nasworthy. But we are coming to the white flag here. 1 to go. Matt Grimm got over a 1 second lead on Landon Minnan. John Hain just a second and a half back. But coming through turns 3 and 4, Matt Grimm will take home heat number 1, and he will start on the pole for tonight's feature. Landon Minnan second, John Hain third. Hain, we will figure that out. Joshua Johnson in fourth. I missed who was in fifth.
Looks like Hunter Jarrell ends up bringing it home 5th. So, that early wreck didn't mess him up too much. Still transfers into the feature. Chandler Carroll in 6th, and then the 2 that ended up going a few laps down. Caden Roy in 7th, and Matthew Nasworthy in 8th.
While you're at it, give us a rundown of heat number 2 on the starting line.
Absolutely, yeah. So starting on pole for this heat, it's going to be Mason Heimball. Starting 2nd, Trent Curtis. 3rd, Lockie Phillips. 4th, William Eads. In 5th, Marshall Dugan. In 6th, Aiden Wayne Willingham. In 7th, Matthew Wiedeffer. And in 8th is Taylor Wineland.
Right on. We'll have 2 pace laps here. You got a pick for this one?
And I'm not going to go with the leader again. I'm going to switch it up. Let's go with Lockie Phillips. He looked super aggressive last week, had a ton of speed. I think really what killed him was just the little touches on, wheel touches and wall hits in traffic. Maybe pushing a little too hard, but I know the guy's fast. I know he's had success here in this league. So, I think he's got a chance at this one.
Lockie the Lock Phillips. Gonna be strong here. I did just make up that name.
I like it.
The Lock Phillips. We'll go with that. I tell you what, we're gonna play the bias card here. I'm gonna go with our league admin and an operator in Trent Curtis. I think he's gonna have a great line here. He's gonna get a good jump and see what happens. But none of us took the pole sitter, so that might be
true.
Bad.
Especially the way that Matt Grimm was able to drive away in that last heat. This one might be a little interesting again. Get a chance to see what the heat before him did.
Well, here we go. Pace truck is off. Big jump by the pole sitter. We are green in heat number 2, and it is Heimbaum with a big jump, just like his pole sitter counterpart in the first race.
Yeah, it looks like Lockie Phillips is going to quickly move himself up to 2nd over Trent Curtis. So a good move by him through 1 and 2 to get that 2nd spot and start trying to chase down Mason.
And this could be interesting. We obviously know Lockie is super quick here. And he jumped to that side just as fast as he could. Now he's digging that bottom, and he's there. He is going to make it happen as he scrapes the wall off of turn number 2. He keeps rolling, though, and this is going to be interesting as we are on lap 4 of 8.
Yeah, on lap 4. It looks like he's doing the opposite, right? It looks like if Mason takes the high side, Lockie's dropping down that middle or that bottom, trying to close that gap a little bit. Now as it looks like he's kind of following suit, maybe just trying to be a little conservative now. As he goes for a slide job, not going to work out for him. He's going to settle in right behind him, but he has definitely closed that gap down.
And Heimbaum was just in the wall, which allowed that to happen, but he has recovered in the wall again. Can Lockie Phillips capitalize? Here comes Phillips with a slide job. He's on the top side. Not going to make it work this time by. He's back on the bottom, side by side. Coming off turn number 4. 2 laps to go. 4 in the wall. They get together. They're still rolling. I can't even keep up with this. This is insane.
Yeah, absolutely insane. Love the beating and banging, and a great save by Lockie Phillips to keep all 4 wheels going forward instead of into the wall.
White flag for Heimbaum. Let's see what Lockie Phillips can do on the inside.
Try it.
Not
Oh,
quite there.
so
He's got
close.
one more corner, both into the wall. The 04 is going to stay out front. Mason Highball, whoa, both in the wall, but he will hang on to win heat number 2. Holy cow, what a finish.
And that, viewers, is what you call risking it for the biscuit right there. I mean, absolutely sending it out of 4, going for the heat win. This is just stuff we love to see it.
That was absolutely insane. And I tell you, I got some heat last week for not showing a lot of focus on the back of the pack. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. It's tough to pull off of it when we're got such great battles up front, just like last week. We got that again tonight. So absolutely wild finish to that second and final heat for Volusia.
Yeah, and I mean, it looks just like last week. It seems like as the heats go on, we get to the feature, man, it just gets more and more exciting, right? You know, it seems like everyone kind of is feeling it out, maybe playing a little safe, and then as the night goes on, you know, there's no safety net anymore, right? It's full on pedal to the metal. How fast can I rip around this thing? I don't care who's in front of me.
That is exactly right. Absolutely insane racetrack. There's a reason this sells out, especially in the real world, as it will next month here during Speed Weeks. Let's go through some comments here. I know you might not be able to see these, but got a lot of people chiming in. First of all, I just want to say thank you to all you guys for tuning in. This is I know this is tough to watch with us operating this, but we thank you for hanging in here. Don't read this. That is the name of the user. I am going to read it, so tough luck. Said, I heard the 95 car using aerosols to get through this race. I 100% believe it. Marshall Rhodes got your broadcast up next to cheering for myself, driver of the 27 Marshall Dugan. Okay. So Marshall Dugan, Marshall Rhodes. He's rooting for himself, and hey, you know what? We are too. Tina Smile says hello, Nate. I'm sure Nate says hello. I think she's talking to you.
Hello.
Yeah. You know her? No? Okay. Kite, I'm pulling for Davis. I got some tough news here. I am not in the race. I am just calling it. But I do appreciate it. Matt Nasworthy, the guy who was just in that heat number 1, says, I spun again, so I just towed. LOL, not going. Not good at these things. Well, you're better than us. I'll tell you that. So there's a little explanation from this driver of the 71. Don't read this. Once again, it says, damn car does a wheelie on fresh tires. Holy heck. Yeah, I agree. And then a couple more comments. Someone, Robert Fletcher pulling for Williams. So got a lot of fans here tonight. So definitely keep those comments coming. Let us know who you're rooting for. Cheer on your drivers. So well, that's enough from me. We've seen 2 heats here. Who are we thinking in this feature?
Oh man, I didn't pick him last week. You know, we just talked about him. I'm gonna go ahead and go with the guy who I know for a fact will send it, and that is Mr. Lockie Phillips himself. He looked pretty quick. I know he's gonna do whatever it takes to win this thing. You know, I think if he can kind of get on his own, maybe get some clear his head a little bit. I think last week he had a lot of, like I said, traffic around him. And, that's definitely something that'll rattle your cage. I think if he can get out, just at least a second or two, or, at least a second and a half in front of the 5th place driver and kind of settle in and just look forward, look ahead on who he's got to pass, I think he's got a good shot at this thing.
I don't disagree at all. I'm going to go with the easy pick here with Matt Grimm. He just looks so solid in his heat. Obviously, coming for a vengeance for this coming week after last week. So, to give us a rundown of the starting lineup for the feature.
Yeah, so on pole it's going to be Matt Grimm, who, like you said, I agree. He's going to be a hard car to pass, especially after last week. Looked fast in the heat and everything as well. Next, we're going to have Mason Heimbaugh. 3rd, Landon Meninga. 4th, Trent Curtis. I do not have this right. 3rd is Landon Meninga. 4th is Lockie Phillips. 5th is going to be John Hine. 6th, Trent Curtis. 7th, Joshua Johnson. 8th, William Eads. 9th, Hunter Jarrell. 10th, Matt Wiedheifer. And 11th, we got Chandler Carroll, the Cheese Man. And 12th, Aiden Wayne Willingham. 13th, Caden Roy. 14th, Marshall Dugan. 15th, Matthew Nasworthy. And rounding out 16th, Taylor Wineland.
absolutely stacked field for this second round of the TCR Sprint Car Series season. As we are one to go. And I'm just now realizing that Landon's name is Landon Meninga, not Minin. Apologies for that. I'm going to get that roster pulled up here. Make sure I'm saying all these names right, so we can make sure we're representing them well, or at least the best we can.
We're doing the best we can,
We're
is
doing
right,
the best
Davis.
we can. That's all we can do. Well, coming down the back straightaway, pace truck about to pull in. The anticipation rises, and there it goes. And we are green at Volusia. Oh, big time crash on the front straightaway on the start. Will we get a caution? Yes, we will.
Yep, yellow is out.
Let's take a look. Take a quick look at this. See what happened on that start there.
Yeah, let's see. I mean, while you get that pulled up and everything, I mean, business as usual for Mr. Grimm. Just, pulls away, gets away from all that. Let's see what happens here on the start. Oh!
Yeah, there was a multiple wrecks that had happened there.
Yeah, a couple of wrecks. Looked like it started on about that third row. Third or fourth row there on the inside. Can't quite tell who that was, but...
Might have been the 71 out of the 3 71s we have in this field.
That's true.
It was somebody didn't get going. I think it was the 82 car.
82? Yeah, that's Landon Meninga. It looks like
Meninga.
Maybe he just had a slow start, kind of bunched up the field, nowhere to go.
Insane. The winner of the heat is now with a damaged car.
Yeah, I mean, for the viewers at home that aren't familiar with iRacing, these guys didn't just waste a whole heat's worth and all the practice they did for nothing, all right? They do have a fast repair. What that is, they do get one of them per race. So what that is they can come into the pits, they get a brand new car that's not damaged, all four wheels are tightly screwed on, not going to have a wing miss or anything like that. So they can come in and take that now. If they don't think the damage is that bad, they can gamble and stay out, maybe save that for later in case something like this happens again. But they do have that option and that resource to them. They can come in and get a new car.
Well, we are back under green here at Volusia. We'll try to restart this race. Still working lap number 1.
And again, Matt Grimm just pulling out to a good-sized lead here. Just business as usual for him. Ripping the high side, carried a lot of speed around this track.
I'm just now realizing I said Meninga won the heat. He did not win the heat. That was Mason Heimbaum. So apologies for that. As he runs in third, already got some lap traffic coming up for Matt Grimm here. Looks like that is the 82 car who was just in that wreck.
That's Landon.
Yeah, that's Landon. Landon Meninga. He will
looks
stay
like
out
he's
of the
gonna.
way.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like he's gonna play nice and hug the bottom, which right now does seem to be the slower line. As looks like a lot of guys are either ripping around the wall at the top or feeling out the middle. Did look like Lockie Phillips was able to move himself from fourth all the way to second there on that. Either I don't know if it was on that initial start and he was able to make up the position before the caution came out, or if it was on that second restart there or that first restart that we had. He was able to make up 2 positions.
Yeah, Lockie Phillips just now getting by the lap traffic here. He's going to try to take a run at Matt Grimm, his former teammate. So he runs the bottom. Going to try to run him down. Mason Heimbaum running in third here in that 02 car.
Another guy a little bit further back who's really fighting a lot and definitely profited off that crash at the start. It's going to be Matthew Nasworthy. Started 15th, as you recall, in Heat 1. ended up wrecking out, but now he finds himself in 5th, battling hard here with Trent Curtis for 4th. He's making that bottom side work really well.
Yes, he is. Running
He's
that
able to
wall.
carry a lot of speed.
We hear about running the wall, but not the inside one. But he is making that work.
Exactly. Yeah.
The
Yeah, he finds himself up to 4th now in front of Trent Curtis, and he's just going to do his best to pull away, as it looks like that's exactly what he's doing. He's found a lot of grip down there on the bottom of the racetrack.
the regular at the Cochran Motor Speedway down in Georgia, as he takes gets around, trying to get around Matt Vitafer here, as he is having a whale of a night. Back up front. So there is still a battle going on there. We'll check in with our leaders here. Lockie Phillips. Doesn't look like that gap has changed a whole lot. He is
no,
still hanging on.
It does look like he's losing a hair. I've seen him hit the wall just a couple of times on the exit, trying to get every little bit of speed out of the car he can, inches from the wall. Pulls back a little on that last lap there.
Whoa, trouble, Chandler Carroll.
Trouble.
Into the wall, and what were we just talking about earlier with that troublesome turn too?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if we see it here, I mean, it looks like Chandler just washes up a little bit too much towards that wall, and I mean, once you're going up there, it's pretty difficult to get it to come back down. He just carried a little bit too much speed there and didn't quite take the arc that you need to make it around 1 and 2, and he found out.
Yep, he went around and found out, but yeah, he
PG version.
You're exactly. We try to keep it PG here, but yeah, just not a great line going into that corner, and he was a driver we were talking about earlier. Wasn't having a tough time getting his head around this racetrack. It's again a difficult place, and again it's tough to run that top line, and as we see, it's tough to do. So tough break for him. Hopefully, he's still got a fast repair where he can get back onto the racetrack and keep contending for some good position.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I think he'd started in 11th, found his way back to 13th. I think right before that caution came out, may have been in 12th when that caution came out. And obviously now with the tow, finds himself back in 13th. But and he was in the call with us earlier. It's, in the practice session, talking about how tough it is around this place. How tough it is to get around and be fast and consistent. So definitely some learning there for him. But that's the beauty of iRacing, right? That's not thousands of dollars. That's a reset button away. So it's always a good time to learn, whether it's a league race, official race, or just open practice.
Absolutely. That is definitely the beauty of it. Well, again, Matt Grimm leading the way, Lockie Phillips in second, Mason Einbaum in the third position. Trying to scroll through the field here. Sorry. There we go. Yep, he's in third. Again, Matt Nasworthy, Lil Nas, not Lil Nas X, but Lil Nas is running fourth. And Trent Curtis, league owner operator, right in the top 5 as we are 1-2 green. So where do you think this track's going to go? We've seen these guys run, hug the top, hug the bottom. No one really not hugging anything. It's like they're going extreme one way or the other.
Yeah, I mean, I really just think it's going to come down to what you're comfortable with, right? I mean, we've seen the leaders so far ripping the top, maybe dive down the middle, see if they can get a little run on each other. But, I got to point out Matthew Nasworthy. He's been really making the bottom work, coming up from 15th all the way to 4th.
Absolutely. Well, here we go. Back to green. Matt Grimm leads the charge. Lockie Phillips still in the second spot. Big battle for the third spot as Nasworthy going to try to take it from Mason Einbaum. He's on the bottom, and oh, trouble!
Oh! Nasworthy
71 car. He's going to keep it green. But, caution is out now. But tough break for Nasworthy as having such a great run there. I think we pulled the announcer jinx. So, I think is what it just happened.
Sure did. Apologies to Matthew on that one. Yeah. I mean, I think there was a lot going on there in front of him. Looked like either Trent or Hunter, I think it may have been Trent, caught the wall there on the exit of the corner. That's just one of those reaction moments, if you will. where you gotta, you gotta figure out, hey, am I gonna go into the back of him or am I gonna try to save this thing and get around him? Um, so it looked like there, he just,
Oh, just clip the wall.
yeah, just clip that inside wall. I
Whoa.
mean, on the bright side now, hey man, you know your limits, right? You've been making that bottom work. Now you know how close you can get and how much you can really get out of it. So just back it off that half inch and give right back to it. Shouldn't have too much damage on that front end there. Didn't look like anything too crazy. We'll see if he comes in. It looks like he's not going to come in and take any damage repair, so it must not be too bad. Must feel okay. We'll know for sure until we get back green with Matthew. But I know it is the feature, and that's what more or less what the practice and the heats are for. But man, when you're moving like that and you feel like there's nothing that can go wrong, I like it, man. Just absolutely go for it. You started 15th. Basically, it actually was last place because Taylor did not grid up for in P16. So, um, you started in the back. Really nothing to lose. I like it.
Absolutely, definitely got to go for it. The man out of Macon, Georgia, definitely making some bacon. Tell you what. And yes, I've used that before. Well, here we go. One lap to green here. Top 5 is close to the same outside of Matt Nasworthy. Looks like Hunter Jarrett. Trying to find him on here.
Yeah,
Gerald. Excuse me. Hunter Gerald.
Yeah, Hunter Gerald. Looks like Matt didn't lose too much time. Only drops down a couple spots here. It's back to work for him. But now, Hunter coming from 9th, got a chance to improve, his spot, and kind of make a Cinderella run for himself here, coming from 9th.
And we haven't talked about Hunter Gerald at all tonight or this season. So, big time run for him right now. Let's see if he can pull off a top 5. Maybe we'll get to speak with him after this race is over.
Absolutely.
We are rolling here into turn 3. Pace car is close to off. As caution still back out. Okay, we are not going green this time by. We might have extended the caution here.
Yeah, believe that. Just seeing kind of what the drivers are saying. Looks like they're, fortunately the admin and race control is playing nice, making sure everyone's got enough time to, repair any damages without going crazy amount of laps down or anything. So everyone's on the same page there, and it's just good sportsmanship there from the drivers you see on the track and the race control as well.
And that is common practice here. We've seen that over the past couple seasons. We want to make sure these guys can get back on track as long as they can. So here we go. Now the pace truck is off. Back on the jump, Matt Grimm of the 91 car leads them back to turn number 1. And he has been the restart king tonight, just absolutely dominating that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he was doing it all last week, too. It was just, he just takes off, like a fighter jet. He's just gone. He's kind of messing with that middle line a little bit, as we see the guys behind him still running the top. Now they're trying to see about, hey, what's this grip here in the middle that Mr. Matt's finding. As we see Lockie Phillips even try out the low side a little bit.
As he was in the wall a little bit, I believe, as we are just halfway in this feature race. Doesn't seem like over the past few races we've viewed with these sprint cars. I don't know that hitting the wall means a whole lot here, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, it seems like if you're just just barely rubbing the tires, you might lose a little speed, but I think the big thing here is you're not taking any damage. So from what it looks like, at least, they're just as fast. We see Lockie getting the wall next to it too, just trying to carry a little bit too much speed. As the yellow's out again.
Caution out. We'll see what for. Oh no! It looks like it was Nasworthy once again.
Oh no!
Tough break gets even tougher for the Georgian. Oh, and it might have even started even before that. Might have started with Chandler Carroll here. We'll take a look as he gets together with, I believe, the is that? 117.
Should
Joshua
be
Johnson.
Joshua Johnson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I'm not going to try to say who was at fault there. I think just two cars got together, and Nasworthy was just had nowhere to go.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he just found himself in a bad spot. Looks like there was some contact there between Johnson and looks like maybe Carroll. Not sure which car that red one was, but there's some contact there. And like you said, Matthew just really nowhere to go.
100%. Well, Kendall Lehman in the chat saying, "Let's go, Chandler." That's right. Let's go, Chandler. How about the cheese boy? He's still trucking. He's doing everything he can, and you know what? He's doing better than I ever would. So I'm not going to knock him whatsoever.
Yeah, same here. Currently running ninth. He had that wreck earlier out of two, but he's kind of tamed it down. I know he was just involved in a little bit of an accident there, but no flipping this time, which is always a positive.
That's good.
So I think he should be good.
Keeping these cars on the ground. That's good here. 1 to green once again, as we've got, I believe, 15 laps to go in this feature here at the Volusia Raceway Park. It is Grimm, Phillips, Heimbaum, top three. Here we go once again. Green flag back in the air. 14 to go. Grimm trying that bottom. Lockie Phillips trying the top. Everybody is everywhere.
Yeah, there must still be a lot of grip on that high side. Something I've noticed over the past few restarts, as we see Matt Grimm, pull away per usual after the restart. Nobody's really trying to dive bomb it into one and take up a little bit of real estate. Something I noticed that Lockie Phillips and Mason Heimbaugh, they're immediately at that wall. They want to carry as much speed they can out of two. But when's going to be the time where they decide to do something a little bit different on the restart? Maybe catch Matt Grimm off guard.
Well, he just tried something there, running the bottom there. He's doing it again. And it looks like he's closing in, and it's definitely something that he's trying. We'll see if that can pay off here. And, maybe that, doing that, maybe called a dive bomb, but maybe doing this is something you just try later on in the race, in the final laps. Maybe Lockie's, trying that out right now. We'll see what he can make happen, as we've got 10 laps to go.
It looks like he is closing that gap. Gap started at 0.6. Last lap is down to 4. Now it's just under 4 at 0.38. I think he's just got to stay out of that wall if he wants a real shot at Matt Grimm here. That's definitely cost him some speed on the exit of the corner.
His consistent interval is probably the same as he would be just running the same line as Matt Grimm. But I'm telling you, when he's there on his bottom right there, all it takes is one mistake from that 91 car, and that 17 is going to take the lead.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the same thing last week with Anderson, putting the pressure on Grimm, forcing him to make a mistake, and then creating your own opportunity. So it looks like Lockie Phillips is kind of trying to take some notes from Jack Anderson last week.
7 to go, 6 now this time by. We'll try to take a look at what's going on further in the field real quick, as Mason Heimbaum still in the third position.
Yeah, somebody I want to key in on real quick is our fourth place driver, Aiden Wayne Willingham. Started 12th, pretty far back. Ended up starting 6th and finishing 6th in the heat. So, not making a ton of noise there, but now he's up in 4th, just one spot out of a podium. He is a little bit far back, but he's also got some cushion behind him. So, if he can just hold on to this thing, maybe drive it safe. He could push for sure if he wanted to, but I think the safe route for him is to take his 4th and go home after starting 12th.
And what a great run for him. Again, another guy we haven't talked about tonight. And on top of that, look at that 5th place guy. It's Meninga. He has recovered from that first lap incident, back into the top 5. As we've got 2 laps to go here. Lockie Phillips hasn't been able to do anything with Matt Grimm here, as he is pulling away.
Yeah, Matt Grimm just pulling away. That gap was down under 4. I think it got as low as about 0.36. But now it's up to about 0.8 now.
White flag in the air, 1 lap to go. Onto the back straightaway. Matt Grimm looking for his first win of the season. looking for redemption, dealing with a lap car here, but he'll get it done in Volusia. Matt Grimm wins the New Year's Bash at the beach. Lockie Phillips second, Mason Heimbaum third. What a race.
Wow, I mean, what an incredible drive from these guys tonight, right? I mean, we saw lots of people that, maybe didn't qualify so well, didn't do so well in the heats, make their way through the field. Guys that were super fast all night, finishing, up front. It was an incredible race.
Absolutely, as we see at least two out of these top three gritting it up here on the front straightaway. Mason Heimbaum might not have gotten the cue there. That's okay. Doesn't take away from the finish. As we will try
Absolutely.
to get a hold of these guys. Not sure if we'll get Lockie Phillips at the very least. See if we can try to get a hold of our third place finisher of Mason Heimbaum. But man, it was I think the top two or three really had a lock all night. It was just a big battle for that fourth and fifth position. Saw a lot of comers and goers there. A lot of guys trying to take their shot at a top five run, but finally just came down to Aiden Wayne and Landon taking home those fourth and fifth spot, and Trent Curtis coming home in the sixth position.
Yeah, really a great drive for all these guys tonight. We saw like you mentioned, Landon battle back from a lot of the wreck he had early on the first lap, and was sitting close to the rear of the field for a lot of the night, and then found his way back up the fifth. So a great recovery out of him. Trent Curtis with another solid race. As we look through the field, I'm looking at where drivers started versus where they finished, and really nothing super drastic. A lot of positives here. Even Matt Naus were they able to pull back to 10th again, starting dead last in this feature. So not as good as the fourth that he had, but hey, sometimes you gotta meet in the middle and settle, right? So, but a lot of drivers moving up through the field, pretty clean for the most part. I think we only had a couple of really big wrecks, including that one at the start. But really the only other cautions were just maybe a driver taking the wrong line or trying to get too much out of it.
Absolutely, guys, trying to get everything they can out of these cars and the track tonight. As we're going to try to talk to our third place finisher here at Mason Heimbaum. Mason, Davis up at the booth. You got us.
Yep, yes I do.
Hey, man, talk about that third place finish there. It was like you were pretty consistent there all night. Pretty close to those leaders there. Not quite able to get it done, but still able to bring home a podium there. Just walk us through that night.
Yeah, felt pretty good in qualifying and was able to squeak through the heat race, beating out Lachlan. That was a lot of fun, but when it came to the feature, yeah, those two were just in a whole another realm for me. I was able to find a little bit of time towards the end, but just wasn't enough.
Yeah, I mean Mason, great drive tonight. You get the feature or you get the heat win. So that's obviously huge. It was excellent racing between you and Lockie Phillips in that. Finished a little bit off the pace tonight, but like you said, they were kind of just in a world of their own at one point, right? Which definitely happens sometimes. But what was it like just kind of fighting the guys, that were, for a little while there, breathing down your neck and just, kind of keeping your composure?
Oh yeah, it was certainly something. I just had to just put my head down, just try not to end this week like how I did last week. That was just my main goal for this whole week.
Well, you definitely got that. Um, it looks like there were some pretty extreme lines being ran tonight. Either whether that was the way top of the racetrack or it was the bottom of the racetrack and hit your left front there. What was the more difficult line to try to run there, and which one kind of paid off the most?
For me, it seemed like running the fence, like right next to the cushion, it wasn't really tough, but it got really dangerous on exit because the car would just wanna push. But running down middle was the faster line, and it was a little safer.
Definitely hear that. Well, Mason, anybody you want to thank for your performance tonight?
I like to think this Lightning Motorsport is just a great team. Jack Anderson, all my teammates, uh, Landon and Logan, they've They've helped me so much today, and M9 Motorsports as well. Just a great group of people.
Well, sounds like the team has got 2 podiums on the season so far. Make sure Jack gets back out here next week. We miss him.
Yeah. So he couldn't make it today. Yeah, hopefully he'll be able to make it next week.
All right. Well, thanks again, and hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
Yep. Thank you.
All right. That is Mason Heimbaum, third place finisher. I did not realize he was teammates with Jack Anderson. So let's try to get both those guys out here next week.
Absolutely, yeah. 2 podiums already for the team. And maybe if we can get Jack to come back out, maybe they can both be on the podium the same week. So it'd be great for the team.
Pretty stout team there, and we'll move on to another stout team. Moving over to Lockie Phillips here, our second place finisher. Lockie Davis up in the booth. You got us.
Yeah, mate.
Hey man, what? Listen, it looked like it was tough to get around that 91 car tonight, but you were definitely the guy with the best shot at it. Talk to me about trying the different lines, because you were just all over the racetrack, just seeing what you could do to get around him, just try and do something different. Talk us through that process.
Yeah, like there's good, I reckon, 3 lines out there tonight. So it was either drive high 1 and 2 and try and get momentum to try and slide job him in 3 and 4, but that didn't work out. I was on the same speed as him when he was running his line, so had to try something different, and then got 10 laps into the feature and worked out, shit, we better start fuel saving, because the fuel was very tight for 35 laps, so just a couple lines down the bottom, trying to save some fuel. Ended up just 2 gallons left, so wasn't too bad on my behalf. Just wanted to have a good week. Last week wasn't my best finish in this league, so yeah.
Lockie, great drive tonight. You were my pick, so sorry if I cursed you, but I would say going from fourth to standing on the podium is not a terrible night. My question for you is going to be, with Matt Grimm in front of you, I looked like even in the heat race, it was pretty difficult to pass these guys with the high side. You're carrying a lot of speed up there. You got a lot of exit speed. Talk to me about, making passes. We saw in the heat, throwing a couple slide jobs when Mason got, into the wall or something. Talk to me about what passing looked like and how you were, tried to set up some moves.
Yeah, I reckon in the heat race you just had to go early and get those moves done, because like we seen in heat 1, it was just Matt was just gone from the moment he took off. So I just looked at that and I'm like, well, I was starting third, so I just had to try and get past Trent then at the start, and then try and pick off Mason, but Mason was out in front and just got that lead too quick, and that momentum built up. But I sort of tried to reel him in at the end, but just fell short.
Well, he definitely had a lot of work to do tonight, maybe more than a few other guys that you were running there with. Anybody you'll want to thank for this performance tonight?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank Matt. Me and him were bouncing off each other in Discord. Even though we're not teammates anymore, we still like to help each other out. So thanks to Matt tonight, and thanks to Speed Factory, LCJ Carpentry, Soul Deep Massage Clinic, Local Sprint Car Photography, TRL Super League, iRacing Down Under, and LP Designs. And I'd like to thank Trent for the league, even though he probably a bit annoyed at me messaging him after last week. But thanks to him, and thanks to you guys for broadcasting. You do a good job.
Trust me, I annoy Trent every day, so you're not alone on that. So you're good. But thanks, Lockie. Good to talk to you again, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. Thank you.
Lockie Phillips, second place finisher here at Volusia, as we will go on to our winner here, Matt Grimm. We'll actually get to talk to him this week. Matt Grimm, Davis in the booth, you got us?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Hey, man, listen. Did anybody else lead another lap tonight? You looked like you just had it locked down.
Yeah, we got lucky and started on the pole and did what we had to do in qualifying for once and won their heat race. So getting to start out front helps a lot.
Yeah, Matt. I mean, I'm kicking myself for not picking you. I picked you in the heat, and you followed through with no surprise there. Like Davis said, super fast all night. I mean, I think he even called you the restart king at one point, and it's the truth. I mean, you were pulling away, multiple car links, before anybody could blink. Talk me through on the restarts. There was something that I pointed out and I noticed. Talk to me about, I noticed you were taking a little bit of a different line than it looked like really most of the field, for really that first lap, maybe that second lap, especially down into one. Off the restart, was that just to give yourself a little distance, sacrifice an exit speed, or was there a little bit different strategy there at play?
Well, when you start, I tried to like keep down into the tacky on the straightaways, try and get momentum build up going down the straightaway. Because if you get up in that slick at this place, you're just gonna spin the tires everywhere. And when you do that, it helps to just enter low and kind of push up and carry that momentum through the corner. And sometimes you'll sacrifice a little bit on exit, but normally it gains so much on entry that it doesn't really affect anything on exit. And you kind of just go from there and get into your normal rhythm.
100%. Well, glad we got to speak with you this week. I know last week was a bit frustrating, and definitely understand that. But with that great run you had there, as well as this win tonight, got to assume you're the points leader here. How are we feeling about going into Lanier next week?
Yeah, definitely would have been a lot better going into Lanier with 2 wins instead of 1, but
For sure.
sometimes stuff happens, and yeah, just got unlucky last week on them restarts and stuff, and kind of fell behind there at the end, and just going into Linear, I think we're just gonna have to start playing a little smarter and make sure we're doing what we need to do points wise and not just worrying about wins. But Lockheed's gonna be tough, and there's a lot of good guys in here that are gonna put on a good battle in points this year.
Well, you're definitely 2 tough competitors, that is for sure, as we've seen over the past few seasons here with the TCR Sprint Car Series. Before we let you go, anybody you want to shout out for your performance tonight?
Well, just thanks to you guys for doing the broadcasts and everything Trent does for putting the league on and all the work he does to get these big races going and everything. Glad to see that this league's been picking up, and hopefully we keep the car count up. It's good to have a good group of guys out here.
Definitely a great group of guys, led by a great winner here. So thanks for joining us tonight, and looking forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you.
That's Matt Grimm, your winner here at the Volusia Raceway Park. Am I saying that right? Volusia Raceway or Speedway Park?
Volusia Speedway Park.
Dang, we should have corrected me earlier, man. I've been saying that all night. Come on.
Just letting you roll with it, Davis.
Well, come on. You can't let me roll like that. Well, Volusia, regardless here, crazy night of racing here. What's your biggest takeaway from this?
Man, I think in general, I got 2 things. Sorry. In general, I really enjoy watching these guys get more comfortable, get more aggressive, take more risks, and really try to, just see how far they can go up the leaderboard. We saw it from practice to qualifying, all through the heat races, and then the feature, with a lot of guys making massive moves up the grid. From tonight, I think the biggest takeaway is, I think last week we really saw a lot of people kind of follow the leader in a sense, and once everything was rolling for a while, I think the biggest takeaway that Aiden, I think he started running the bottom. Definitely Matt Nasworthy, as we pointed out, was running the bottom. While these other guys were taking the top. Try out those different lines. See what kind of speed you can get. You might end up being better on the bottom and more comfortable on the bottom than you think. I think that's my takeaway from what we saw tonight.
100%. Yeah, this place is a great representation of dirt racing, where go try a different line. Go somewhere where the guy in front of you is not. Go see what you can make happen. And like Matt Grimm said here, car counts are looking so great. If anybody was watching this back in our summer series, we were down to 3 cars at one point. It was tough to watch, but again, great car counts here. Great drivers too. These guys are no joke. These guys really know what they're doing. Definitely got a lot more experience than you and I would say, and it's been fun to watch. So, well, great, man. Well, listen, back to the Lanier Raceplex. It's technically called the Caffeine and Octane Lanier Raceway. That is the actual name of that place now. Did you know that?
Interesting.
Yeah.
I did not.
Yeah, I looked that up earlier, and I was like, wow, that's That's new. So new ownership, but we like to see the racetrack doing well, and love going to that track on the Sims. So from Davis from Nathan Mon. My name is Davis Warren. Thank you for tuning in to Grease Vision tonight. We will see you next week at Lanier.